Hydra by Happy Little Misery. Read by Pommel Knight. Prologue.
You cannot take that which is already taken. You cannot give that which is not yours to give.
It crawled out of the ground, still covered in the dirt and muck of the graveyard. It took its first foul breath. It hated the warm sunlight, but it hated the cold darkness more. It hated life, but it hated decay more. It was no more than a hairless white slab of meat covered in mouth-like protrusions, blind, deaf, mute. Its entire being was drenched in unbearable hatred for the entire world. How it came to be, was it birthed or created? It did not matter. No living thing could bear something so obscene. Indeed, its creation was something entirely. Was it punishment or torture? Perhaps it was both. But that was inconsequential. To it, only one thing mattered. It couldn't see or hear anything, but it could sense something that called out to it, and like a moth to a flame, it rushed towards that something. Whatever called to it was beautiful, and it was filled with hatred, for it was ugly. A gigantic, bright flame was waiting to be extinguished by the cripple of the grave. It was sad and miserable and lonely, and that was the opposite of it. That was life. It started to remember the reason why it wormed out of the grave, the reason it suffered so much. It had to snuff out life. Nothing more, nothing less. That was its sole purpose. To consume and ravage and destroy and extinguish and kill and murder and obliterate and obliviate and annihilate and crush and spoil and ruin and demolish and abolish. But it wasn't fast, and so its agony was further extended. It had no limbs, so it slithered and crawled in the graveyard dirt like a maggot hungry for flesh, for a fresh corpse. Its wicked will pushed it further, and it was so close. A baby mouse, all alone in the middle of the graveyard. It wandered out of the burrow in the middle of the day, unaware of the dangers of the world around it. Now the infant mouse was too far to return. It rolled and pressed hard down on the baby. Snap! It felt satisfaction, euphoria even, as the baby's neck broke. Oh, what pure joy it was for it to extinguish such innocent little living thing. But that was over too soon, and it wanted more. It was angry that the moment didn't last longer. It wanted the baby to suffer more. With one of its protrusions, it began to rip apart the baby mouse into pieces. The process was hard and strenuous, but its sadistic nature kept it going. Soon it ate the newborn, and it felt good. Ending life was good, just as consuming it was, though it wasn't the same. There was no unexpected snap, no fruitless struggle, just a limp body being devoured piece by piece. No excitement, no uncertainty, no muffled screaming. It wanted to feed on both the misery and the corpse, but both were mutually exclusive, and that made it suffer. But that wasn't the only difference. It felt something awaken deep inside of itself. It felt itself changing, and soon it felt something horrible happen to itself. This was something truly repulsive and sickening. In a few brief moments of silent loathing, it had grown eyes, limbs, a mouth, and ears. It saw the whole world and felt one emotion: disgust. To it, the entire world was disgusting.